on the Palestinian cause by Fyodor von Keck. It has come to my attention through an Arab commenter on the YouTuber Court Sense's comment section that a lot of Arabs and a lot of Palestinians are very much confused and depressed over the current situation in Palestine. The demand of the Hamas leadership was total victory and liquidation of the State of Israel and the expelling of the Zionist settlers from the region. However, the war has not turned out well for neither Arab or Muslim armies, as Syria's new president has cocked out and lost ground to Israel. The weapons shipments coming through Syria were seized. The Gaza Strip has been bombed to shit. The West Bank is occupied and divided into sectors. And Israel is now currently sending its troops back into the Gaza Strip. With notable exceptions like the Old Town and Gaza City never have been taken by Israelis. Most of the Gaza Strip has at some point been occupied by Israeli forces. And the question is, like, what now? What now for the Arabs, right? The first lesson is, of course, again, that there is no magical FX cock god. Victory is on the side of the strong and on the tactically competent. And the Palestinians cannot stand alone against Israel. A grander Arab and Muslim coalition is needed, like the idea of Baathism or Pan-Islamism, like a caliphate or a Grand Baathist state. Secondly, you cannot replace military tactics and Machiavellian schemes with jihadi fanaticism. Fanaticism can lead you to do very stupid stuff, like attack without knowing that you have a grand coalition behind you, and charging headlong into machine guns, in the Japanese case in the Russo-Japanese War. What the Palestinians should do is that they should find some unified political cause. They need political philosophy. They need to find something to unite behind. They need to figure this out. I would suggest some Baathist movement, like the Palestinian Liberation Front, collaboration with China, and building up of a grander Arab coalition. It is all nice to have these little hobbit states, as Mr. Spencer once put it, but the Hobbit state cannot stand against the world power. Israel is supported by most of the West. The West is guilt-cocked by the Shoah to support Israel nearly unconditionally. There's a lot of financial masturbation schemes that play into Israel's hand, giving them military equipment and support. And the propaganda message to the West should be that the Arabs are not the enemy of the West, they are the enemy of Israel. And in fact, if the Western countries would take Israel's claims of being the most ethical army in the world critically and maybe supported the Arabs would offer something in the West's self-interest, like cheap oil that they cut off in 1973. That's a very useful tool the Arab world has if the Arab world can be united. The military needs to be seriously reformed, all the Arab militaries. The hierarchy should be more meritocratic. You should be able to actually criticize officers' conduct if they mislead or don't utilize the tactics efficiently. And the armies have to coordinate with each other and optimally become one state. Secondly, the Arabs would have to prepare for a possible nuclear strike due to Israel having a doctrine called the Samson option. And thirdly, as well as we see in the Russian propaganda machine, the Arabs should differentiate propaganda to different interest groups in the West. The leftists should be fed the classic anti-colonial narrative, and the rightists that the Arabs are fighting for a traditional society against degeneracy. And such a victory would be a very hard thing to achieve currently, because again, Israel has a population of mixture of Sephardic and Ashkenazi Jews. They have on average higher IQs. The Arabs have a cousin marriage and dysgenics problem that has to be dealt with as well. But their victory is not physically impossible, but it's going to be extremely hard, and it cannot be achieved simply by being fanatical jihadis. It is not the 7th century anymore. Technology and tactics are much more complex. And even during the great Prophet Muhammad's conquests and the Caliphate's conquests, the Arab armies used strategy, they used deception, they used horse archers and light cavalry to lure the enemy into traps. They didn't just charge head on like a human wave into frontal battle. Same with the Mongols. So use your head, use strategy, build a great coalition, know how to use your propaganda. Don't guilt cook the West. Show the West how you are a better trading partner than Israel. Read Machiavelli, read Kissinger, learn about realpolitik, learn about the schemes of Shakuni, and be politically and internationally and militarily savvy and smart. That is all I have to say on this topic.